Okay, it says we're live. Oh, I forgot to do this really quick. So let me open it up first. Do you guys have any questions you want to ask me? Yes.
What lesson to what lesson?
It's 4.1 to 5.1, but remember, I'm going to pick the hardest problem on the last test, and there's a lot of hard ones to pick. So hopefully you know. Maybe I'll do it on both tests. So hopefully you know how to do all the ones you missed on the last one. Other questions, Hallie?
Are you asking for review questions?
The review questions. So I posted those this morning because Lauren forgot to text me.
I know, I'm sorry. I saw it this morning though.
You saw it this morning? It's gonna work. I hate this thing. Oh my gosh. This is just so annoying. Oh, man. All right, so if you go to Canvas here, down in exam reviews, or down here, we've got the latest review. Here we go. So, I'll make that a little bit bigger. Can you guys see that pretty well? Okay, so then if you don't have any other questions, are there any of those 5 problems that you can see that look scary to you? Or?
I shared a question before this. The formulas with the logarithms and exponents we use views. Could you explain what that was really quick?
Formula with the logarithms and the use.
The U-Substitution.
U-Substitution. Do you want to do a U-Substitution problem? Oh, good chance. Okay, so that looks like number 5. Can I do that one? That looks like a good U-Substitution question. Okay, so number 5, E, hopefully I can see here, except for I need to write it down first. E to the 2x plus e to the x minus 6 equals 0. Looks like a good U-Substitution. I gotta make sure we're seeing. Oh. Okay, so, backwards there too. So how do you do this one?
Well, I know that we're focusing just on the exponents, right?
Just on the exponents? Not necessarily. So do you know how to solve this one? Hint, you can use U-Substitution. So I'm going to let U equal something. What did you say? X to the second? I don't have an X to the second in there, do I? What do you know, Andrew?
It'll equal e to the x.
You usually let it equal the middle term. If there could be a number there, but yeah, something like this, e to the x. Okay, does that make sense? So if we let u equal to e to the x, what does u squared equal? It equals e to the x squared, correct? And what do you do when you have exponents? Do you add them or multiply them? Which one? I'm getting your rules mixed up. Yes, as Isaac says, you multiply them. Okay, so this becomes u squared plus u minus 6. Now, since you're rusty on whether you add or multiply, what would be an example of adding exponents unrelated to this problem? Can somebody think of one where you would add exponents?
E squared times e to the 4th.
E squared times e to the 4th. That would be e to the 6th. Okay? So in this case, you get the same base, you would add the exponents. But a power to a power, you multiply them. Okay? Demi?
So if the problem is like e4x plus e2x minus 6,
E to the 4x plus e to the 2x minus 6.
yeah, would u squared still be the first, like e4x?
So you would let u equal, what do you say?
So would u equal e to the 2x?
E to the 2x, and therefore u squared would equal
E to the 4x.
e to the 4x. Yes. Okay? All right. So does that make sense, Lauren? Okay. So now it's super easy to factor, right? How do we factor this? U plus 3 minus 2, okay, equals 0. So u equals -3, or u equals positive 2. And now what? Now we need to substitute back, right? Because u really equals that. So now, so e to the x equals -3, or e to the x equals 2. Okay? Can e to the x equal, well, can it equal -3? No, because you remember how to graph it, right? I didn't do any graphic in my morning one. That's probably going to be on the test. Okay? So, but even if you didn't remember that, what would you do? So you didn't remember that this was not going to work. You could take the log or the ln of both sides, right? You pull that out front and you get x equals the ln of -3. And hopefully you would know that didn't work. But if you didn't, you'd plug it in your calculator and it would say error, and then you would know it didn't work. Except for some of you would think, oh, you must have made a mistake, you must have paused this, right? Yeah, so this one does not work, okay? Question?
Will we get to use a calculator tomorrow?
Will we get to use a calculator? So here's what I would say. Let's finish this problem and then I'll answer that question, okay? How would you solve this?
Oh,
Yeah, I'll let you take it over, because Lauren's getting
so
tired.
you take the natural log.
Natural log of both sides. This comes out front, so x equals the ln of 2. Okay. Now, as far as the test goes, and to answer your question, I would much prefer to see x equals the ln of 2 than x equals whatever that decimal is. Okay? So, yes, you can use your calculator. At bare minimum, I better see this. And if after that you want to say it equals whatever it equals, that's okay, but I better see this.
Will we need at some point to have a calculator?
So, well, you need a calculator. So the calculator problems that I will give you probably would be like interest, or, you know, bacteria cultures, how many are you going to have in 100 years or whatever. That kind of a problem where you really would like to know, oh yeah, you're going to have 5,000 rabbits or whatever. But for most of this kind of, like this kind of a problem, this is what I would prefer to see. Okay? It's not wrong if you tell me what it is, but if I don't see this and I just see 0.237, I'm going to be like, I don't know if I know what I'm doing. Okay? Question?
Yeah.
Okay?
If you just jump to straight to what was factored, that's
Yeah, you don't have to. You can skip all these steps. You could go straight from here to how would that factor? E to the x, 3, 2, plus minus. You could skip all this. All of this is unnecessary. Then you could go from there to there. So that's this is faster, but usually this helps people a little bit better because that doesn't look like the easiest thing to factor in life. And to be frank, I would probably go this way to make sure I did it right, okay? Rather than there, but you could. There's nothing wrong with going straight if you want to, okay? Any other questions?
26.
Number 6. All right, number 6. If I can see what it is. Number 6, 7 to the x equals 6 to the x plus 7. That looks like it's in the exponent, right? Okay? How would you do this one? Take the log of base 10 log or natural log? Base 10. So we're going to use base 10 logs, and that'll pull these out front, right? So I'm going to get what?
X log 7 equals x plus 7 log 6.
Okay?
Divide by log 7.
You people who don't get rid of those parentheses drive me crazy. You could do that, but I would not do that. A good mathematician wouldn't do that. And what would the good mathematician do? Rory, what would the good mathematician do?
X log 6 plus.
You distribute that, right? So x log 7 equals x log 6 plus 7 log 6. Okay? And then what? We'll go back to how.
Divide by log 7.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Would you turn it to, well, would you change it to multiply the x log 6 and 7 log 6 for this addition?
Oh, so you're saying you want to combine these? You could combine them, but both that and that are in the way. It needs to be a regular log for you. So that would also be not a good thing to do. Do you want to phone a friend? Phone your friend Joey?
I realized it.
Oh, you didn't know.
I thought I did, and I was like, oh wait. I thought just divide the log 7 out, but then I realized
Yeah, that's what she
there's
said.
X on both sides.
Yeah, there's an x on both sides. That's the problem, is we have an x on both sides. We want the x's on the same side.
Use divide the X out, or
Divide
on
the
other
x
side?
would be a really bad idea.
Minus X log 6.
Okay.
Just subtract the X log 6.
Subtract, let's subtract this one, x log 6 minus x log 6. Now, that's going to go away. What does this become?
X log 7.
Oh, good. I was going to say, does it become x log 1? No, good. Glad they would do that. X log 7 minus x log 6 equals 7 log 6. Okay, now we've got the x's on the same side. Okay, now we'll go back to Howie. What would you do next?
I don't.
Don't know. Joey, Jeffrey?
Would you divide? So like with the x log 7 minus x log 6, would you combine those?
Combine them how?
So it would be x log 7 divided by x log 6.
No, you can't combine them because the x's are in the way. We need to get the x's out of the way.
So after
Factor. Let's factor out the x, and we're left with
log 7.
log 7 minus log 6 equals 7 log 6. Okay?
Now you
Now we can divide. Okay, now we've got that. What are we dividing?
yes.
What'd you say?
So you're going to divide. So it's going to be log 7 divided by log 6.
Divided by?
Would it be log 7 over 6?
We're going to just
Yeah.
divide by this whole thing. So log 7 minus log 6. And then that will cancel that, right? And then we'll divide that by log 7 minus log 6, okay? So x equals 7 log 6 over log 7 minus log 6, okay? Can I cancel anything? Like the 7s or the 6s? No, good. Okay, seen that happen. Okay, so am I done? No? What should I do?
You log 7 over 6. Oh, yeah. So would you just like, simplify the bottom?
So you're saying right that is log 7/6? You could, but I would just leave it alone. I'd be done, okay? So it's important to know where the finish line is and stop running, okay? One more like that? Do we have another one like that? 7's kind of like that. Ready?
I have a question. For the dividing, how do you know when it's the whole, like log 7 minus log 6? Why isn't it just log 7 over log 6?
Oh, yeah, you can do that. You could rewrite this as 7 log 6 over log of 7/6. Is that what you're asking?
No, but
Oh, I thought that's what you were asking. That is also a correct answer. What were you saying?
I was saying for the rule where it's subtraction against division.
Yeah, that's what I
log
just
7
did.
minus log 6.
Uh-huh.
Up a little.
Yeah, one more up.
Right, to the left? Why is it the whole equation and not just log 7?
Because this x is multiplied by that whole thing, and we're trying to get rid of that whole thing. So we're dividing by that whole thing, so that we can get the x all by itself.
Oh, so we're just getting rid of it.
We're just trying to get rid of it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, if you're saying at this step, now let's go over here. If you're saying, could I have rewritten this as x times log of 7/6? Is that what you're asking?
Oh, no, I get it now. It's just,
Oh, because that's legal to do. Equals log 7 log 6. Except for I don't know if I'm recording anymore. Am I off camera? Oh, we went out of focus. Okay, so that's, yeah, so if you want to go from this step to this step, that's perfectly legal. That's fine. And then what would you do here? Divide by log of 7/6, so that those cancel, and then log of 7/6, and that's the same thing that I have right there. So that would be fine. Okay? Wisdom makes grading these because there's multiple correct answers. I mean, they're essentially the same answer, just multiple forms. Okay, Hallie?
13.
13. All right, 13. All right, the ln of x minus 3 minus the ln of x plus 8 equals the ln of x minus 6 plus, minus the ln of x plus 8. Okay? So what do you think?
Would you be able to add the ln of x plus 8 to each side?
You would add the ln of x plus 8, and that's going to go away. And if we add the ln of x plus 8, that's going to go away. And now I'm left with the ln of x minus 3 equals the ln of x minus 6.
Could you take the natural log of e?
Well, we've already got the natural log.
But you would e to
Yeah, the anti-log, which is the same thing as put a big E there, right? That's gone. So x minus 3 equals x minus 6.
That's the false statement. So.
It's gonna lead us to. We could subtract x, right?
yeah.
When I get negative 3 equals negative 6. And when does that happen? When I owe you money, right? Okay? So yeah, that's a false statement. So therefore, the answer is no solution. Okay? All right, what else you got? Tell me.
If you couldn't cancel out the ln of x plus 8 on that problem instead, would you basically just take, like, put the e and put all of the ln's, and then...
Are you asking if I could put a big E here?
Yeah.
E.
To cancel out all those, and then you...
Is that true? Can you do that? No. Why not? Because you got a negative there. Okay? Now, what you could do, though, is you could combine those, right? If I combine those, what would that become?
Would it be ln of x minus 3
Divided by
x plus 8?
x plus 8 equals the ln of
X minus 6 divided by...
x minus 6 over x plus 8. Okay? And then what would you do? Now you can do the e, right? The big E there, that goes away. X minus 3 over x plus 8 equals x minus 6 over x plus 8. And then what's that?
I don't remember.
So we got, what don't you like about it?
I don't know, I'm just confused on that.
Isn't that the F word? That's the F word. Fraction, right? Okay, how do we get rid of the fraction? Multiply it by x plus 8, right? X plus 8. Now the fraction goes away.
Okay.
Now I get x minus 3 equals x minus 6, which is the exact same thing you got there, and so therefore, no solution. Okay?
On the answer key, it says the answer is B, so that's why I asked the
The
question.
answer is B?
Because I got no solution for the answer.
Really?
Yeah, that's the answer column.
Well, let's plug in B and see if B is the correct answer. Okay, so answer B says negative 8. So we're going to plug in negative 8. So ln of negative 8 minus 3 minus the ln of negative 8 plus 8, does that equal the ln of negative 8 minus 6 minus the ln of negative 8 plus 8? Okay? What's the ln of negative 11? Undefined. What's the ln of 0? Also undefined. The ln of negative 14? Still undefined. Yeah, so definitely, sorry. That's weird. I'm surprised there's a wrong answer on there. Definitely no solution on that one. Okay, but we definitely proved B was wrong. Okay? Any others?
Are there any formulas we need to memorize?
Formulas, A equals PERT would probably be the only one. I think I'll give you the mortgage interest formula if you need it. If you need the Newton's law of cooling, I'll give that one to you. Any other formula, everything else you need to memorize. So. Okay, you want me to pick one that I think you'll miss?
Yes.
Let's see here. Oh, that logistic growth is a good one. That one might be a good one. But that wasn't what I was thinking of. Let me find one that I think you should know, because that one's a little bit of a hard one. Oh, can you graph? Oh, that's a good graphing one. I was trying to find another one. These graphic ones, nobody asked me about in my other class either. You should know those. This is a good one. 44. Let's come back to here. Okay, we can see. All right, number 44, this is a good one. Although that logistic regression was another good one. F of x equals the log base 9 of 100 minus x squared. Find the domain. Okay? This is a really good example of a final exam problem, so you really need to know this one. Okay? Whose turn is it? Cameron, it must be your turn. I'll let you guys tag team. Howlett wants Harley to do it.
I'll try my best.
Okay?
Would we put this in all the power lines at all? No.
No. Okay, let's think about domain. What does domain mean?
The x-axis.
Does it mean x, not x-axis? What does domain mean? What'd you say? Yeah, all the possible. Wait, so what are all possible x values? Another way to say that would be, what x's shouldn't you pick? And in fact, on this one, it might be easier to ask the second question. What are the x's you should not pick with a logarithmic function? 0 or negative numbers. So let's take this piece here. 100 minus x squared must be inequalities, but we should get there. What does this look like if you were to graph just that? It's like a parabola.
Yeah.
It's a downward parabola.
Yeah.
Where is the intercept?
0, 100.
0, 100. So I'm at 100, right? It's a downward facing parabola. Okay? So all of these x's are above 0. None of those x's are. Okay? What is that value and what is that value?
10, negative 10.
10 and negative 10. How did you get that?
Square root of 100.
Okay, if we set that equal to each other, 100 equals x squared, we could square root both sides.
Yeah.
Problem is, some of you will think, what's the square root of x squared?
X.
X. What's the square root of 100?
Plus or minus 10.
Plus or minus 10. Some of you would forget that. Now, another thing you could do so you don't forget that is to factor that. That would factor into 10 minus x times 10 plus x. And hopefully you would still, if you factored it, you'd get the plus and minus. Okay? So, let's go back to here, find the domain. What are all of the possible x values that make what's in parentheses positive?
X is greater than negative 10 and less than 10.
X is greater than negative 10 and less than 10. I wrote that backwards. X is between negative 10 and 10.
Yeah.
How would you write that in interval notation?
Negative 10 parentheses. Oh, X isn't on it out. Negative 10 parentheses, 10 parentheses.
Okay? I'll be happy with either answer. I'll be even happier with the correct answer. Okay? All right, so test is tomorrow right here. I'll probably have you guys spread out so that you don't have anybody sitting next to you. Make sure you bring a calculator. don't bring your phone. You can put it away. And good luck. This will be the hard test.
Hard one?
Probably the hardest. Well, I would say this is the hardest one, although the next one won't. When we get into matrices, you guys won't play it. Okay? All right, so see y'all tomorrow. Good luck. Ace my test. Make me proud.